In our last video, we made some location signs for the fascia panel of our model railroad. This time we will be making an HO scale sign for a hardware supply warehouse located in Raton, New Mexico. This will be a much more difficult project because each individual letter must be cut out. Hi, model railroaders. I'm Sam D. Teague. My son Aaron and I designed and built Santa Fe's Raton Subdivision Model Railroad. One of our goals is to help you learn new methods and tools to use in model railroading that you may not have considered before. We also want to share how we design, built, and operate our layout by posting diverse types of videos on our channel so you can find the information you need to make your layout a success. For the hardware supply located in Raton, New Mexico, we need a sign with large letters that will mount on the side of a brick building. If these letters were full size, they would measure 30 inches high. The letters for the sign will need to be mounted on a steel frame and stand out from the wall of the building. The building was built in the 1940s and is made of brick. Its dimensions are 6 7/8 inches by 22 1/4 inches, which would make the building 49 feet 11 inches by 161 feet 6 inches in real life. Rob's Hardware was a real business in the history of Raton. We have a photo taken of their real sign about 1913 on the side of their building. The length of the sign at that time was equal to the long side of their building. We are using a larger building for their business, assuming that if they had stayed in business until now, the mid-1980s era of our layout, they would have acquired a larger building and ordered a standalone letter sign for it. Stay tuned to the end and see how the Silhouette Cameo machine makes a difficult HO scale sign much easier to make. The first font my son Aaron picked out for the sign didn't work out. This is because the font tapered down to a very thin line at the top and the bottom, making the cutout too fragile for a sign in HO scale. I selected a font with a similar style as the one Aaron wanted, but with a thicker design. When typing in the dimensions, I forgot to select all the font and then turn off the lock feature. Now I hit send to make sure it is set to cut out each individual letter and select the proper cutting depth, pressure, etc. Using the sticky pad from the Silhouette machine, I place evergreen styrene strips for the steel frames. I have placed 3 letters flush with the bottom frame so I can mark the location of the top frame piece. The printed version of the sign will help me place the letters correctly. I'm placing letters on the frame strips to make sure the alignment of the strips is correct. I always used Art Glitter Designer Dries Clear Adhesive. I am not sponsored by anyone, but I do like to tell my viewers about products that I am impressed with. The glue works on just about anything. The 2-ounce bottle lasts a long time because you don't need very much. The fine tip nozzle puts down a very thin line of glue. The glue comes with a stainless steel straight pin that needs to be reinserted whenever you are finished with the glue. The clear plastic bottle stand by Standy has a foam pad, that's the pink part, that seals the tip so you don't have to keep taking the pin in and out while you work. If you lay the letters lightly on the frame, you will have time to move it around and get it aligned and in its final position. Then press down straight to set the glue. If you drop a letter and mess up your glue line, just turn it over and add some more glue where it got disturbed. I need to take a moment and remove the dried glue off the pad, but I've only got 3 to go. Occasionally, you may need to run the pen into the nozzle to clear up any obstructions. I like this little tool, but you can do this with a regular putty knife. I'm using Tamiya flat black acrylic paint to black out the metal frame. Take your time so you don't get any paint on your letters. If possible, always use a cardstock color that matches the desired color of your letters. That way you won't have to paint the letters. I am lightly applying some rust streaks to the sign face. Always start at the top and pull the brush straight down. With a Cameo, you can make the signs you need without having to settle for what is commercially available. I hope you learned something useful, and thanks for watching.